your pothead, your pop putty man here, and welcome to the first of so many Disney Plus reviews on this channel. Today is so special because it is our first episode of all the Disney Plus reviews, and also the first of our Disney Plus Star Wars reviews. Now, as today we are reviewing the very first episode of The Mandalorian, which is called Chapter 1. And I have been so excited to see this first Star Wars series ever made. It literally is the first Star Wars series ever made. Outside of animated stuff, they've never done any kind of TV series. So now, before I go on a rant, I wish to ask if you're new to hit that like and subscribe button. It's simple, and keep in mind it goes a long way for small content creators myself. Also, I am reading from a script that's right down below the camera, and I do want to explain that I wanted to go into detail on a lot of stuff, so if I go on a rant somewhere else and get a little bit of it's just because I'm excited, guys. But anyway, so if I'm looking at the script, just to understand, I want to get some details to you guys that you may not be familiar with. So let's not wait and answer the burning question you've all been asking. Is this one episode of The Mandalorian worth the subscription to Disney Plus? Yes. The big old yes. The first episode of The Mandalorian ends with a jaw-dropping moment that left me speechless with questions, but questions that led me to be so excited for what is yet to be seen in the series. See, The Mandalorian is about a Mandalorian bounty hunter that we have no name or information about. He settles in a bar to claim a bounty, and from there, the show begins. Now, I don't want to go into spoilers until the second half of this review, but without a doubt, this first episode starts with action and intrigue. And again, this first part, I will tell you when we get to spoilers. I'm just going to explain why you should watch this and get Disney Plus. Jon Favreau wrote this episode, and clearly Disney knows what they are doing when it comes to hiring Jon Favreau. If you're not familiar with Jon Favreau, then I'll say two words for you. Iron Man. Yes, Iron Man. Jon Favreau basically wrote Iron Man and created Iron Man and directed it. You know, Jon Favreau is the reason we have the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the first place. So you may also know him as Happy in the Iron Man and Spider-Man movies as well. See, Jon Favreau is a huge Star Wars fan, and it shows in this first episode. Now, his detail in the Star Wars series and in the lore is amazing, and will leave a lot of fans excited to see what he has up his sleeve. This Friday, on the 15th, they are dropping the next episode and then every Friday after that, we are getting new episodes. Now, I, for one, cannot wait to see what they do with this new series. Now, as a non-Star Wars fan, I think you will still enjoy the series, but I'm being biased, to be honest with you, because the ending may leave you puzzled if you've never seen a Star Wars movie, but at the same time, you really should be at least a bit familiar unless you've lived on a rock all these years, honestly. But that's what I'm here for, to fill you in on the details of certain events that are so important in this series. Now, true fan, you can see behind me that I have prepared for this day with all my Star Wars merch and, things of that nature, and my collectibles behind me, and I couldn't wait to break apart what's going to happen in this episode and everything. And in some ways, get excited about a review like this. The Mandalorian already feels like a traditional Star Wars TV show. It's like a Star Wars movie enriched with the spaghetti western behavior that's based in space. It's exciting, but sadly short. It's 38 minutes, so it's not like an hour like I thought it would be. And we only get to 40 minutes of the first episode, but boy, it's a lot you can consume. Well, you can see that this Disney spared no expense when it comes to setting up this first episode of the series. Now, Disney Plus is currently offering a 7-day free trial. I just can't wait to get into spoilers. So if you are interested, try the 7-day trial. Come check it out. I think it's worth it. The show is genuinely entertaining, exciting, intriguing, action-packed, things of that nature. So with that, I want to go into spoilers. Go watch the episode, come back, talk to me. I will go ahead and fill you in on the details of what's going on in the episode itself if you're confused. So we're going to go ahead into spoiler territory now. So if you do not want to see spoilers for the first episode of Mandalorian, Chapter 1, then go ahead and stop the video now. All right. So, I'm going to get into details about stuff that got me excited when I heard this or that, saw this or that. I'm sure you've got questions about certain things, and I want to be the ones to answer those. So, first we start off with the Mandalorian in a bar as he tracks down his first bounty. Now, he shows his bounty on a bounty puck. Now, with the character's name on it. The bounty puck is what a bounty hunter gets to receive. They have all the information, basically like a flash drive of all the information for the bounty and everything like that. He says he can bring him in warm or cold, as in dead or alive. I love that line. I can bring her in warm or cold. Such a great line to start up the episode. Now, as the Mandalorian takes the bounty to his ship, he mentions that he doesn't only know droids. Now, I've noticed with the Mandalorians, and if I may be wrong about this, might be the one detail I might be wrong with, Mandalorians do not like droids, and that's the reason why you hear a lot about them not liking droids, and in return liking living drivers or just living people when it comes to doing things. Anyway, so the bounty he's carrying talks about the ship being called a Razor Crust ship, as he mentions his riches and credits. Now, the bounty also speaks about Life Day. Now, Life Day is like Christmas in the Star Wars universe, and was first mentioned in the Star Wars Holiday Special, which, if you haven't seen it, don't. Honestly, as a Star Wars fan, we don't speak about that. But that also leads me into the rifle that the Mandalorian is carrying, the big rifle. This weapon is called an Amban Phase Pulse Blaster, and is also first seen in the Star Wars Holiday Special. And in that special, it was being used by Boba Fett, which is a short cartoon that the little Wookiee watches. And this also first introduced Boba Fett, before even in the movies, guys. Now again, Jon Favreau truly shows his knowledge of Star Wars with just these few pieces of information. But anyway, so as the bounty decides to make his way around the ship using excuse to use the bathroom, he finds several bounties in carbonite. Now again, you may remember Han Solo being trapped in carbonite in The Return of the Jedi. Again, this is just what Mandalorians or bounty hunters do, put them in carbonite so they cannot move. Again, the lore and care they put in this episode shows. Anyway, so I move on to see the bounty hunter claim the bounties with a bounty collector played by Carl Weathers, who is best known for his role as Apollo Creed in Rocky. He leads him to a higher bounty of a 50-year-old bounty, or a 50-year-old creature. Now, before we get into the bounty, there may have been a few questions about certain familiar species and characters. So let's go over all those details. Now, first off, you do see other Mandalorian that you meet that melts down the metal that he uses for his armor plate. That is actually a metalsmith. And when it comes to Mandalorian armor, they're huge within the Star Wars universe. So this is a big deal when it comes to Mandalorian. We're going to learn a lot. I guarantee we're going to learn a lot about Mandalorian lore and the tribes and things of that nature. So I'm not going to go into detail until we get to that part, unless you have questions that I can answer in the next video. Second, we have the blurg that the Mandalorian is forced to ride. Now, these species first appeared in a very little known movie called Ewok: The Battle for Endor. And you actually see those for the first time, in those creatures in that movie, and were never shown again. So it's cool to see those come back. So the bounty hunter rides to the enchantment to find his bounty when he runs into another bounty hunter, a droid to be exact. Now, you may think this droid is IG-88, but honestly, it's not. This is actually IG-11. And this droid is actually voiced by Taika Waititi. You may be familiar with Taika Waititi either from his directorial of Thor Ragnarok or as his voice of Korg in Thor Ragnarok. Anyway, so finally we end this review with the shocker. The bounty is found to be exactly 50 years old and a baby. You may ask what species this bounty is, and it's unknown to Star Wars fans, but in the fandom, we call it the Yoda species. Yes, this baby is the same species as the Yoda, and this species can live up to be 1,000 years old. So seeing a baby at 50 is actually not surprising, to be honest with you. But to see this as the end kicker of the first episode, that he's hunting down a 50-year-old baby, that's actually like Yoda just died. Like prior to this was Return of the Jedi, and then before, and in that we actually see Yoda die. So to go from that to this, not exactly to this, but like years later to this, to see another species of Yoda, it's pretty freaking exciting, honestly. I don't know. I don't know where they're gonna go with it, but I just can't wait to see. I'm excited. I'll go on off script now. I'm excited for what they're going to do with this, with the species, the lore. Clearly, Jon Favreau knows what he's doing. He's a fan of Star Wars, and he shows it. And I can't wait to see what he does when it comes to upcoming episodes of Mandalorian. And there's supposed to be other Star Wars series coming out, so maybe he'll put his input into those, especially if this goes so well. Anyway, well, there you have it. That is my official review of The Mandalorian on Disney+. I want to thank you all for watching. Now, please, first and foremost, show some love right here, to the following YouTube members. They have went out of their way to become members and show love. We have our Tier 3 member here, and then we have our Tier 2 members down here. Show them some love. You can see them right on the right here on the side of the screen. They show me support, and I want to show them support as well. Now, if you'd like to become a member, then just click the join button below, right beside the subscribe button. But hey, if you can't become a member, then just hit that subscribe button. It's right beside the join button. Of course, that one's free, and it's on the house. So anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. I am Putty Man with Gamer Potheads. It is my first official review of Mandalorian Episode 1 called Chapter 1. Chapter 2 comes out this Friday the 15th. Please come back for that review. And as always, I am Putty Man with Gamer Potheads. It's been a joy to do this review with you. And as always, we're all about the high score. Peace out. I love you guys. I'll talk to y'all later.